Hello friends, I am Diksha Soni from MTech 5th SEM IIPS DAVV. Today in this lecture we are going to learn the algorithm on predictor corrector method. As we can see on the screen, here is an algorithm for the predictor corrector method. Predictor corrector method is a method to find the solutions of differential equations. So let us start the algorithm. First of all, here we can see that we will first read the values x1, y1. x1 and y1 are the initial values of x1, x and y. H is the interval, that is the difference between two values of x, and xf is the final value of x. Till xf we have to examine the values of x. Now write x1, y1. The initial value we will print on the screen. After that we will compute s1. s1 is the function value at the points x1 and y1. x1 and y1 are the initial values, and therefore s1 is the function value at x1 and y1. Now we will compute or increment x2. x2 is x1 plus h. As we have seen, h is the interval. So adding the interval in the first value of x, we will get the next, that is second value of x. So x2 is x1 plus h. Now we will compute y2. y2 will be computed by Yoon's method. Here we can see in the remark that y2 is computed by Yoon's method. So y2 is y1 plus h s1. This is Yoon's method formula. So y2 is y1 plus h s1. Now after computing s1 from x1, y1, x2 and y2, we will compute s2. s2, as we know that s2 is the function value at the points x2 and y2. So s2 is f of x2, y2. Now since here we computed y2 by Yoon's method, we will correct this y2 by the predictor corrector formula. So after computing y2 predicted and s2, we will compute y2 corrected. y2 corrected is y1 plus h s1 plus s2 divided by 2. This is the predictor corrector formula. What is predictor corrector formula? The predictor corrector formula is y2, that is yi is equals to yi minus 1 plus h si minus 1 plus si by 2. Here si is computed with the help of yi predicted, and hence we finally compute yi corrected. This is the corrected value of yi, that is y2 corrected. Now we will begin a while loop. While loop has the condition x2 till x2 remain less than or equal to xf. xf is the last value till when we have to examine x. So till x2 remain equal to or less than xf, we will do what we will do. Let's see. We will write x2 y2 that we have computed. y2 corrected will be written here. Now again, with the help of this y2 corrected, we will again compute s2. In the preceding s2, we have computed s2 with the help of y2 predicted. Here this was y2 predicted and we computed s2, but after that we have compute y2 corrected. So using this y2 corrected, we will compute s2 again. So this is the value of s2 at the function. s2 is the function value at the points x2 and y2 corrected. So in this way we have computed s2. Moving on to next, we will now compute y3 predicted. y3 predicted is y1 plus 2h s2. s2 is this, that is f of x2 y2. As we know, s2 is the function value at the corresponding point, that is x2 and y2. So y3 predicted will be what? y3 predicted is y1 plus 2h s2. Again we will increment x, that is x3 now contain x2 plus h. Moving on, next we will compute s3 with the help of y3 predicted and x3. So s3 will be what? s3 is the function value at the point x3 and y3 predicted. Now after computing s3, we will compute y3 corrected. y3 corrected using the same predictor corrector formula. y3 corrected is y2 plus h s2 plus s3 divided by 2. Here s3 is the function value using y3 predicted and x3 points. So we have computed y3 corrected. Now since we computed y up to 3 points, that is y1 that is given by the user, y2 by Yoon's method, and y3 corrected by predictor corrector formula. After this we will continue our while loop by assigning y1 value of y2, y3 corrected the value of y2, and x2 the value of x3. Again let's see once more. y1 is assigned the value of y2, y2 is assigned the value of y3 corrected, and x2 is assigned the value of x3. Why we did so? We did so that we can increment our while loop to the next values. Now these currently calculated values will contain in these variables, that is the preceding variables, and the current variables will contain the succeeding values. So now we have all these values in y1, y2 and x2, and the while loop ends and the algorithm stops. What will happen next? It will happen that the while loop again come to the condition. Say if x2 is less than or equal to xf, then what will happen? The values of x2 and y2 will be printed. x2 and y2 contains what? x2 and y2 contains the y3 corrected and x3. So now these values will be printed here, and we will compute the new values in the form of y3 corrected and x3. So the while loop again moves with the s2 y3 predicted, x3 s3 y3 corrected. In this way the while loop proceeds and ends at x2 less than greater than xf. So in this way the predictor corrector formula computes the values of x and y at the value of function at different points. So in this way we solve the differential equation and get the points x and y. So I hope you understand the algorithm and use it afterwards for your benefits. Thank you.